Okay, assignment 5, implement of inheritance in a Java program. Use the super keyword to show the use of it. Implement override. So to do that, I created a package called practice inheritance, and then inside the practice inheritance, I created two classes. One is menu and another one is steakhouse. So in Java, is it possible to inherit inherited attribute and methods from a different class? We group the inheritance concepts in two categories. One is subclass, the class that inherits from another, and the superclass, that class is being inherited from. In this case, menu is inheriting from steakhouse, so the menu is subclass and steakhouse is superclass. Here, if you see, we have the steakhouse that has a string. I kept it protected. It's called T-bone steak, and also I kept another integer string. It's called steak price 20. In here, I kept a couple of other options, like other methods like customer comments, and just because I created another private variable, I did a getter and setter here to get it access, just to get for a practice, nothing to do with the homework, just to get the practice. So just because I created a private static int appetizer price, I kept it private, so I do it getter and setter methods here. So from the menu here, menu extends steakhouse, that means menu is here subclass and steakhouse is a superclass. Here also we have another string we created, this called item2, that is shrimp cocktail, and then another methods. This is the main methods. We're going to call the whole thing from here. Our objective is like collecting all this block work from the other class and try to call it from this main class. All right, so now I just, to do that thing, I make an object. It's called my menu. If you see here, it's a my menu, and then I just put a CISO here. What are the signature dish of the steakhouse? So here what I did, I'm calling the object from the superclass. So my superclass object is item2, that is, if you see, that's item2, and from is item1. So item2 and item1, I'm calling it from, one is from the superclass and one is from the subclass. So if you run it, we're going to run it a little later, but let's just run it. We can get the same thing. We can find it here. So we get it, the one attribute from main superclass and one attribute from the subclass. And again, we can get the same method we can call from here. If you see on these things, that is also we got it from the superclass. I'm going to the override. So override methods, in my menu, in my steakhouse, I have the steak price is been set. I put a protected modifier, and I put the price is $20, and I'm going to call it, and then in my new menu I'm going to put a new value. So I need both of the value on my subclass. So for that reason, I did it first here, steak price. I called this static thing from my superclass, and I get the steak price. And then here I'm overwriting with the new steak price with the $50. So to get the old price and new price, what I did here, that is, I actually created on the back, because we have to use the super keyword to get the actual old value from the superclass, but we cannot use the super keyword on static on a static method, because our main method is a static method. We cannot use it from there. So I just created a sub method or another method that is not static, and I'm getting a return super from the stake price. If we run this, we can get this thing, get it done. See, we get all the attributes from the other both the classes, and then we get it the old stake price, that is our superclass value. I got it, and also I get it my subclass value $50. So both the values I'm able to get it in there. Another way to say about it, and okay, the third one is all about the overrides. Overrides already completed on that thing, and then talking about the overloads. So to do the overloads, I actually created two other methods. It's called method overloading. I kept the same name called info, and here I changed the methods parameters by string, and I created another method called info2, but here the changing the parameters by int value. So while we give it two ints there, again we can call these things together, and we can actually able to get these things in a one place. So if you see, it's like the answer coming up from top to bottom, and we are able to do all these things. Thanks.